The Trinidad in her day of sailing, she was a friend to one and all. She never once ever hesitated to answer all SOS calls. And yes, well, she always did her best to help out those in distress. Now it's so sad to see she's in difficulties. Though she helped cheer, some of them cheer and sarcastically declare, Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough.
Go ahead, because I'll be full in the air. But let me just say one time, a pleasant good night to all on Sunday, East, West, South, Central, or Friends in Tobago, and wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web, a pleasant good day to you. But of course, if you see me tardy tonight, if you see me, of course, a bit delayed, well, because of a purpose for which, of course, I had no choice. In other words, beyond my control. And I want to tell you, it's a good one. And so, of course, in the meantime, welcome. Don't forget, of course, we targeting 20,000, 40,000 every night. Of course, tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell a child, tell your son, tell your daughter, you name it, you tell them. So, people, of course, sorry about the tardiness. Yes, it's just about 10 minutes to 9 o'clock. But when you hear why I am so tardy, why I'm so late, and then of course you will excuse me. Alright? Yes, indeed.
But to the end she had the same crew who hold the keys to her vault. So we know who's at fault. Now it's up to you, it's up to me to make her worthy to go back to sea. Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. Oh yes. We gas tank almost empty, no electricity. We oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship or shall we stay on it and perish slow? We don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. We don't know. Captain, you tell me. Oh, we don't know. You tell me. Oh.
Yes, people, once again, of course, a pleasant good night to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, or Friends in Tobago, and wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web, a pleasant good day to you. This is yesterday. Boy, whole day I'm getting that camera problem. Let me see if I could treat with that one time. All right, let me just put back on this and go, of course, to the yes, whole day I'm getting that problem. Let me just check and see what's happening with that camera.
From the Trinidad.
Since you take over as Prime Minister, it's plenty pressure. We have to suffer, and you will do nothing better. Rowley really have to go. Oh, so Rowley really have to go. Oh, Rowley really have to go. Since you come in power, you is a big failure. Collapse the economy. What you have to show, we don't really know.
Yes, indeed, of course, we will take your calls immediately. 337-6940, 337-6940, Once again, my apology for the tardiness, but I will explain to you during the course, of course, of the program. But we need, of course, to get our numbers up. We need to make sure that we remain and have the standard that is required in order, of course, to treat. But I tell you when, of course, you would have seen what I am talking about, you will be extremely pleased. Yes, indeed. But underneath all of that, Rowley must go, have to go. The PNM is, of course, a criminal enterprise. And we have a duty and responsibility to, of course, jettison, to extinguish, to annihilate them from the political scene in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, so Rowley really have to go. Oh, so Rowley really have to go.
Yes, indeed, Rowley has to go. All right, so of course you see that love sign on the screen. Well, that of course is because the lover for the first time met with the leadership of the UNC. Yes, sir. But from about 4:30 this evening, we met with the UNC leadership, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, and of course a number of trade unions, including of course the OWTU. Roger was there, yes, and then of course the UNC leadership at their headquarters in Chaguanas, and we had a wonderful talk. Of course, we are talking about the coalition of interests. We are talking about what the coalition of interests, and what is that interest? The interest is that we know that Rowley and they are the bane of the country. They are the diabolical evil of the country. They are the toxicity that have, of course, enveloped Trinidad and Tobago. They are, of course, the bane of the country. And so that evil must be jettisoned. And, of course, I say that that discussion that we had this evening with the UNC leadership, Lavantille Outreach for Vertical Enrichment, you will know more about it, of course, in nightly programs, but of course that martini session that I promised just around 4 or 5 o'clock, we will engage, and strictly of course to show the Lavantille people in particular, because I made it very clear to the UNC leadership and the leader that listen, love is about of course the Lavantilles and of course Port of Spain South, where I am right now as we speak. But let's go straight to the lines and immediately. I know people are excited. Let's go to the lines. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
A pleasant good night to you, Uncle Lennox, and all your listeners.
Yes,
and
indeed.
And to share the life. Come on, people. We needed 40,000 to climb. So tonight you'll find out Uncle with speed, Uncle Lennox, because
yes,
I want everyone to hear the breaking news to the people of Lavantille and surrounding who are listening. Put on all your TV quick on corridor transformation, because all your hands are in good hands of Dr. Uncle Lennox, because his representation today in the press briefing with the coalitions of meeting the minds and other people interests of serving the people of Trinidad and Tobago, Love Lavantille was presented very respectable and had an air. So you people, listen to Uncle Lennox. Help is coming. Now, Uncle Lennox has put a good forward, and his part of making all the life better. Let's give all it now is for all the citizens of Lavantille and surrounded, is to make sure all capitalize on this issue and this windfall of delivery of goods and services and betterment to you all. Uncle Lennox, keep up the good work and congratulations in choosing the right direction to help the people and to promote them of Love Lavantille, because far too long they was neglected. Good night.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much, of course, without even getting all the details. I think from the man himself, who, of course, was in the firing line tonight or this evening, of course, of course, being quizzed by, of course, the entire executive of the UNC, and of course, in particular, the political leader. But she was so impressed that, of course, she had to ask me, of course, to stay back to of course, be part of a press conference with, of course, I on the right, and of course, next to me would have been, of course, Philip Alexander, and next to him was, of course, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, and next to her was Roger, and of course, the line went on to, of course, a number of other trade unions. I think the Transport Workers Trade Union was there, apart from, of course, the OWTU. And I tell you, it was a wonderful experience. It was a wonderful, of course, exercise in, of course, coming together, a coalition of interests. But, of course, it was a more coming together of the minds for a common purpose and for a common cause. What is that cause? To get rid of the blasted PNM and this criminal enterprise that Rowley has, of course, nurtured and concocted and created. All your asses are grasses. Your days are numbered. Call the blasted election now. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Lennox. This is Dico Martin inside. 20,000 plus.
Yes, man.
We want to reach 40,000 by before election call.
Yes, man.
Lennox, you look real good at the head table there, boy.
How you been, man? Hey, your boy had to come up to sketch.
You understand? And I like how the opposition leaders locked the door on the NTA, boy.
Yes. They locked the door on them, and then, of course, they said, well, let Mr. Smith talk, because he has been making some overtures as far as non-CARICOM independent observers is concerned. And, of course, I took the floor and did what she asked.
Right, and we look out the NTA, and that is good, because he can't come into the Rising Sun house with all the coalition and Batok members. He's fast and out of place.
Oh yes, indeed. I think it was naive. I think it was upstart. And to me, those kinds of persons are really political neophytes. I see Rowley as that. I see the Chinese man Young as that. They are they have learned nothing over 10 years. Go ahead.
Talk about Lalbiari?
Yes. His pseudonym. A pseudonym, yes, a false name. Of course, his sobriquet, if you want to call it that. But a bunch of jokers, man. But we have to get on with the business of Trinidad and Tobago. Yes.
The seriousness now.
Yes.
I see the PNM Eater Food lawyers look like they want to make a lot of money on the head of taxpayers, boy. I see they appeal Jawala, they get a unanimous decision. All they do reduce the amount he had gotten from the Judge Devendra. And they want a time to see if they're going to appeal. And they're going to appeal, all of them junior, senior lawyer who losing all the integrity and everything.
So let me ask you a question. What is the result? Because I don't know of that. This is news to me. So just explain to me what has happened with that trial. Yeah.
A unanimous judgment in favor of Jawahar Rambaran again.
Oh, shame.
This is short man.
Okay.
You remember in the the High Court?
Yeah. He was awarded 7 million. They appealed it. The government appealed it.
And those Limor type lawyer, Eater Food lawyers,
right?
Apparently they went and appeal it.
Yeah, I know that. It was an appeal.
And they'll lose the appeal today. The judgment was
good. Very good, man. Very good. These fellas are blight. They are blighted, but they are really wicked. They are vindictive, and they believe they can use the people's money how the hell they want for these kinds of excursions. Go ahead.
Yeah, line tax and fees, because they're going to appeal it again to lose money, lose taxpayers' money, because remember, he elevated plenty lawyers who never practiced in the court in senior counsel.
Oh yeah, we know a bunch of...
They got to get them ham, lam, and jam to do a performance like a fellow who...
Yeah, a bunch of quacks.
Like Mendes, who went to the Privy Council and he looked like a junior
yeah, no, he looked. I think he looked like a freshman now out of university. If he went to university at all.
thing than that, It's a contagious virus interfering with the brains, mental episodes.
But no, I agree with you. I call it manic depressive psychosis. They seem to have an involuntary ability to forget and to be delusionary.
I hear in his address, well, we don't see what kind of pants he wearing. He had a suit, the top, but he had a cargo pants. You know the cargo pants for? To full with taxpayers' money in it.
Yeah, but of course, they don't know on the other end of that rainbow is not a pot of gold, but of course, blue lights and silver bracelets.
It's silver bracelets, yeah.
Blue lights and silver bracelets. So let them be oblivious to that fact. We'll catch them by, of course, by surprise or by and without their own intent to be caught. They will be caught because they're so stupid. They leave all the evidential trail behind and believe that they can get away with that.
Another discussion, interaction I had with the acting commissioner of police on another program. And I asked him, I say, only getting so much evidence. We have a crime scene, just like the Andre Barrett crime scene, where when you get one body, you get several bodies. I say, why you only do a dragnet up there, man? I say, only getting all the information from another host. He's telling only you're going to dig up and only you do a dragnet. Hear the response. They like to get information like that from the public to go and see it. But you get one body, just corner of that area, put the army, everybody, and come down and see what you could get. But I asked him, I hit him a hypothetical questions. I said, look, so you only getting plenty marijuana and only putting it in grams, 169,000 grams. I said, tell me something. I said, we pass a law for 4 marijuana trees. I am an agriculturalist and I like the botanical ambience in my thing. So I said, when my plan go, because I ain't smoking, when my plan go, it's a hypothetical question, and I prune it and I have the cuttings. Should I call all it and dispose of it, or I dispose of it? I say, if it have 5 people down my avenue having that, and we cut it and we put it in a bag, and you have a fella down the road say, okay, he go dispose of it, how will he go treat it? You know what the commissioner tell me? When he have more than the allotted amount, and he go charge him.
I suppose he doesn't have a discretion or any rationality or extenuating circumstance, especially if it could be proven. That is how they think. They have, of course, what I consider to be a tunnel vision, and of course.
Yeah, but it's like a good hypothetical question. If you allow me to plant 4 marijuana tree, and
no. I take what you say, but there are others who want to get in. I clearly understand
right.
because of course. It's not your fault, but they ain't seeing that. Them seeing it, of course.
A brilliant news conference, man. A brilliant news conference. I like this setting.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Of course, but we have to get on with the job. The others here, of course, call back callers. I think about 2 or 3 of you, of course, missed. But of course, continue because of course I want to, of course, explain to you what transpired today. Yes, that was in the making, and of course, I had to respond, and you would see, of course, in front of the political leader a huge document, but that's the same document that I sent to Rowley. Yeah, what I say? I said the same document I sent to Rowley twice. That rapscallion and blasted no good. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Hello, good night.
Good night, my friend.
Yeah.
Tell me.
San Fernando, yeah.
Yes.
You get your coal pot?
If I have a coal pot?
Yeah.
Well, of course, we want to replace coal pot, if you tell me that. With a proper stove.
The man get yam for you as a gift from Ghana.
Oh, I
and
see.
He take it.
Yeah.
And he take the yam, right, from Ghana.
Yeah.
But he get a gift from India for vaccines, and he didn't take it, causing the deaths of almost 4,000 people or more.
Yeah. 5,000 persons died from this virus, yes. In Trinidad.
From the virus.
Yeah.
But yet still, he went and bring yam, and he take that as a gift, but he didn't take the gift from India.
I hear you. Yes.
Yes.
And mind you, you mentioned coal pot, so I say the coal pot man you're referring to. The coal pot man will tell you, take the bicycle and take off the rubbers and so on. and cook the yam with that fireside, you know. yeah. He go say it. He's a lawyer, so he go say it is inflammable, and so of course he could put a match to the tire and light it up in order to cook that yam. That is the kind of tomfoolery we have purported to be members of parliament under the PNM.
I would have suspected that this government, I mean serious now, serious. This government would have gone down a road that would take us, from out of the from one era into another with a vision. I would have thought so.
Yeah, but instead they take us from the frying pan into the blasted fire itself. Yeah.
Into the fire, straight into the fire.
Yeah. With no mitigating circumstance or a fireproof apparel.
Because I will go this way to tell you this.
Go ahead.
Trinidadians have a lot of talent, and most of the talent is not really being utilized, right? You remember Robinson went into diversification of the economy.
Yes.
And he was using the talents of Trinidad and Tobago to turn around the economy, right? And, put Trinidad on the map. But this present regime seems they're living in the
can't
past.
think that far. One don't have any hair on the head, and the next one have dreadlocks. That, of course, too thin for him to think that thick.
You understand? So, I'll call you back.
Yes,
I know you have other callers. Yeah.
Okay, yes, man.
Right.
Okay, then. Yes, indeed, people. A wonderful day, yes, I agree, for the Lavantille community. Yes, today, of course, marked the beginning of what I consider to be a meeting of the minds, a coalition of interests. And while, of course, Roger and they were saying that their interest, of course, is the working class, because, after all, they are trade unions, I will say that my interest is the Lavantille question. And when I spoke of Lavantille, because they didn't understand, because they thought that when you say Lavantille and you include, of course, East Port of Spain or the constituency of Port of Spain South, they were a bit confused. Why are you saying Port of Spain South? And I had to explain, of course, that Lavantille East Movement and Lavantille West and, of course, Port of Spain South have the same socio-economic and psycho-cultural experiences and dynamics that is uniform across that part of the country, and on the outskirts of, beginning on the outskirts of Port of Spain, east, and then, of course, further eastwards over the hills, and into, of course, Mova, and, of course, the intervening communities such as Bitam, such as Silat, such as Malik, etc. It's then they get to realize that I gave them, of course, a history not only, or an explanation not only of the geography, but the socio-economic and psycho-cultural realities in that place, including, of course, and while I did not, of course, elaborate, but I can do so for you, in that, of course, we talked about the higher than national average murders, the higher than national average school dropouts, the higher than national average young girls making children, the higher than national average persons who would have gone to secondary school and did not come out with a pass, or came out with very little, or a non-full certificate, as it is said. You need 5 in order to have a full certificate. Let's go to Elijah. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Mr. Lennox.
Good night to you, my friend.
Lennox, I feel so proud and blessed to see you on TV today, man.
Yeah, man.
I was so happy for you. I come in on time to hear you make your speech.
Yes, man.
And you look like a prime minister in the making, man.
Oh, yes. All of them in the room were saying that they were just spellbound. Their mouth open, gawk, and they want to know, well, where that fella come from, where he was hiding all the time. Yeah, that is the feeling I got. But,
God,
for me, it's part of the course.
No, it is. You make the corridor of transformation proud, man. The people who support you, I can imagine, but the reason I called, I really wanted to congratulate you. I congratulate you on the comments
Okay,
for
great.
being there. But it was so disappointed in Miss Arima, man. She condemning you. She said you was only there as a show. And all
Of course,
everybody.
I heard people. Let me just interject here. I heard other people say that kind of thing as well. Imagine I was made a temporary senator, and a fella
Yes.
who couldn't even touch the steps of the parliament said, "Well, I was senator for a day," and he sees that as a maybe as a situation where that being a senator itself is not significant. But I wonder if a person like them could be ever invited. They just don't have the capacity and the ability to sit down in a forum like that and talk like how I have spoken. So I know it's some kind of warped sense of jealousy. So I understand that. And I understand the difficulty. They never thought that could have happened. That is the problem. They are shocked, shell shocked.
Yes,
But of course,
yes,
but there is more. There is more.
yes,
Go ahead.
yes.
Go ahead, my friend.
A
There is
lot,
more.
of, a lot of people condemn Mr. Rima because you know what happened? She called your show every day. She called the ground report. Instead, she said, congratulations. You look like a king on the stage. Say something nice to uplift you. She tried to bring you down and like if it being used for some kind of, what I mean? That's so
Yeah,
rotten, man.
that is foolishness. Well, listen.
Yeah.
If that indicates that I'm being used, well, I want to be used every minute, every second.
Well,
I want to be
I
used
would
every
say
day.
to myself,
Not me and them who going to of course encourage me to go down a gum tree and up a picket tree. Not me. So let them keep that where they have it. Hold on, let's say in that regard. Go ahead.
Most of these people really now get to know you during the ground report or this corridor of transmission. I had known you so long, we used to call you short man.
Yes,
I'm more than 30 to 40 years. I'm telling you, I was a custom flag for 28 years. I'm a real estate agent out here for 23 years. I 50 something years I'm talking about. You understand? And I feel so proud to see you as a hard-working guy, and you've been on the field, on the ground for so much of years, and it seems like your time is reached. Now is your time.
That is the forward thinking and the right thinking people thinking. That is a smart way to address the problem, because it means that everybody in Lavantille and those who I would have touched, even of course those who may be critical because of course they cannot do it, so therefore nobody else can do it. But of course they will not dare come in Lavantille and of course put on the bucket as I have and develop programs. I tell you, you see the big document that you saw in front of Kamala Prasad Bisesa? That is the document that I delivered to Rowley, the 1,000-page document I keep speaking about. Is that she used and made reference to it. But of course there are those who wouldn't appreciate and understand that simply because they are simply myopic and they cannot of course bear to see that their own friend, their own kind advance in the way that of course they can benefit as well. But that's all right.
But you see, now that your star to shine is now stone going to be being built up the
Oh yes, I accept that. I accept that as part of the course.
Right, but the more they pelt, the stronger you will get. They
of course,
realize that.
And they have been pelted for a very long time now.
I know, and you're on the way up.
That's right.
And you would have distractors. That is okay. Because if you don't have distractors, that means you ain't doing nothing good.
That's right, of course. And your standard may well, of course, flounder. But when you have people keeping you on the P's and Q's, how the hell you could do nothing but very good and more than very good, super good.
No, but I really feel proud that I know somebody reached that far, and I know where they come from, because I know when you went up for the election under the UNC as well, you know.
Yeah, yes, that's right. So I ain't no newcomer, I ain't no neophyte. I know Rowley and Hines and Short Young and them, they are neophyte. That's why I could challenge them to any debate on the question of the sustainable development for Trinidad and Tobago, and addressing, of course, issues along the east-west corridor. They can't touch me with the longest road that they may have, because they can't think that far.
You know, Twiggy, I hope she was watching this UNC press conference. She might be jumping for joy. She might be feeling so proud of you. I telling you, these are the kind of people that was paying them and them now is UNC. And them would like to feel so proud of you. Half of, or maybe more than half of Lavantille is jumping for joy to see one of their own that is up there in the limelight. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, man.
I tell you, I still listening to it. I running it over again, you know.
Yes, man.
My computer running that whole night. I proud, man. I'm really proud to see it there. And I am encouraging it to continue to work hard. And, you know, we had mentioned that we want to nominate it to have the UNC in the, after the victory of the 25th election, to appoint you as a senator if you don't get a seat. But it seemed like you might be an MP, so you're done already, moving up the ladder already.
Yeah, but I told them that I would manage the campaign, but I will not want to contest because I think I am more useful outside because we have to look at funding, we have to look at, of course, logistics, we have to look at, of course, project development and little fundraisers, etc., which, of course, a candidate, in addition, of course, to campaigning and having to walk about and so on, and that is a must. You know, you will leave that, or that would suffer. And I don't want it because I want to be able to run a perfect campaign for the candidates and make sure they have everything. And of course, I will be there every night and every day because, take for instance, if I have a candidate, also I go be on the campaign trail, I wouldn't be able, of course, to speak with you. But I could, of course, set up a situation where the candidate is out there. They send back, of course, the bulletins for me, or they stream it live outside and still being able to explain, etc. So there's a lot of advantage logistically and, of course, strategically for, of course, I'm not contesting. And it says something serving the people in the way that I know they should be served because you have suffered them. The PNM has suffered them and have, of course, exploited them and have abused them over the last several decades, and that must come to an end.
Well, you know what happened? When I had talked there one time, I said we was going to petition for you, right? I talked to some other people about it, including Khadija Amin, and was saying, you know, wait, don't try to force nothing onto the party. But I don't think we need to do that anymore because in the position that you're reached, if you're not going for an MP, I sure Ms. Camilla Posadas will be thinking about putting you in the Senate.
I too am very confident as to your perception, because I mean it is logical and common sense.
Yes, and it is. And you know what happened? They recognize people who doing a lot of work. And Mr. Baird in Lavantille, I don't know if he might get to fight the seat again, but he seems to be doing something good. At least he's an older man, you know what I mean? And
yes.
I think and one of the things you keep preaching about is that Lavantille going to make records and do a lot of surprising things this election, and hopefully with your assistance it could come true. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That is the idea, my friend. You went to the program. You are with the program. I must say there are those who clearly, from your comments, are still don't understand, even though they claim to be, of course, some kind of pseudo mean false intellectuals.
Yeah. But I'm glad there's somebody calling the ground report this morning.
Yes.
And they were saying that these people who is calling in, like Miss Santa Cruz, Miss Arima, call these people, what they have to do is to get on the ground, get the yellow flag, get the application forms, talk to the neighbors, talk to the friends, talk to the enemies, go out there and preach the gospel.
That is the message that we have to send, among others, but that is the major message. Like the lotto, without a ticket, you don't have a chance. So without an ID card, then you cannot, of course, vote to save your community, yourself, and your country.
And I had mentioned that to you long before, because I know I in this thing a long time. And according to the pitbull Roll Henry, my brother got he seemed like something from me rub off on him. Because you know Roll Henry, right?
Yes.
Right, that's my little brother. Remember I told you.
We have some more calls coming in, so I know you will want to talk all night because of your elation.
No, but we have to do it tomorrow. No. one more thing.
Go ahead.
That is what I want you to continue to let the followers know, to get on the ground, get a yellow flag, get a yellow jersey, get the application, give it out to the friends, and go and preach the gospel at UNC. Because not talking on the radio will make us win, but
alone,
when
yes, we have to
ground,
get on the ground. That is why I say we have to, we have to be much more strategic and logistic. A pleasant, Mr. Okay, Mr. Saligadi, just hold on. I have a caller on another line there, but of course, everybody seemed to be elated and bombarding. Like, let's go to the line. A pleasant good night. Welcome, Mr. San Fernando.
Yeah, I called back again. I was listening to that caller just now.
Yes.
About you was elected as a temporary senator or something today.
Yes. I had a meeting with the leadership of the UNC to be part and parcel. My party, Love, you see it on the screen there, to be part of the meeting of minds, the coalition of interests. For the time being, we have not yet decided which constituencies who would, of course, be contesting. But of course, that was the beginning. And we had, of course, a major press conference afterwards where all the media were there. So you better check on your system, on your device, because of course it is somewhere there.
I didn't see it. I'm now hearing about it.
Okay.
And if it's so, what the caller is saying, well, then I have to congratulate you. And that is the kind of thing that, I mean, the more of this that we could get, the better I feel that this thing would push us forward.
Yes, of course,
So
because you have somebody on whom you could rely and who understands the matrix, the scenario, and have been, of course, talking that, and now they have but planning to, and of course now it has manifested to walk the talk.
Yeah, because things could go further than this, you know. We could aim for the clouds and hit past the clouds.
Yes, man. Of course, aim for the and pass the clouds. I like that one. I never heard that one before. So of course, we will end up in the deep blue sky in the cosmos.
Deep blue sky, yeah.
Yeah, in the cosmos.
We could go real high with it.
Yes, man. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. There are other callers.
Yeah,
yes. Welcome, of course, Mr. Grandi. Mr. Grandi, go ahead. Mr. Grandi, go ahead. Mr. Sani Grandi, go ahead. Mr. Sani Grandi, going once, going twice. Mr. Sani Grandi. All right, okay, well, we have to cut you off then. All right. Call back, of course, caller. So, once again, of course, yes, we did have, I don't have a copy of the clip because I just had to rush it to the computer and, of course, make sure that I engage you. So those of you who would have gotten a glimpse of it would have, I'm sure that by and large you would be appreciative that Lennox Smith is the kind of fella who does walk the talk. No sort of talk, walk the talk. Pleasant good night, welcome to the corridor.
I went off a little bit now.
No problem, my
good
friend.
Night
Go ahead.
to you.
Yes.
Yeah, well, according to guys in the looking at you at the conference today, Rowley would have liked to have you because you look like a chief from Africa, like Chief Ololongo Okibono, man.
I hear you, my friend. I hear you. All the references I'm going to accept. Hold on, caller from Lavantille, I believe it is. Hold on from, I have Mr. Saligandi on the line. Go ahead, Mr. Saligandi.
Yeah. One thing I want to say, I don't want to stay too long, but I thought the Dragon Grass deal was a done deal because I could remember when they first come on the line and say how they get this Dragon Grass deal. I remember Gerald Ramdin, the lawyer, congratulating Rowley and saying that he is the only prime minister in Trinidad and Tobago that get his deal done. You know? I don't know if you could remember that.
Yeah, I remember it very distinctly, of course, and all of us who are skeptical and know the performance of this government will say, well, listen, that is premature and it will go the way, don't be surprised if it goes the way of Sandals. But Sandals is
right.
Yeah, so go ahead, my friend.
Right.
Yes.
But what I'm saying, even just recently, before the Trump administration came into office, that Short Young was beating him out is a done deal because they're ready to start putting on the line.
Yeah, and they have the ship. They have the ship and it's working as we speak. All of that hogwash. All of that hogwash. But it was only he believed to send the fools further. But let me tell him something. That Chinese man, that the laugh is on him. Everybody knows that is nonsense you were talking then, as is the case now, because history has proven so it to be. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, but and they was paying some license.
They have been paying, of course, $1 million US a year, I believe.
Exactly.
For that arrangement that they made with, of course, Maduro for 30 years that they were boasting. So one thing ends, I think, either next year or later this year. The OFAC license from the United States, right?
Correct.
Maduro was so smart. He gave them something for 30 years, so they're feeling good. But it depends on the Americans and that OFAC license for them to exist at all. Now that Trump has come back in, here it is that may go, and our $1 million a year as well. These people are blights. They are asses and they are nincompoops.
Yes, because the whole idea is, I was listening to Mr. Rowley, and the way he was brushing off America, he said that he meddling with American and he going with him Maduro. Remember, he was always abstaining to vote against Maduro.
Every action that he took was in favor of the regime there. He never mixed bones. He never took a middle line. He was never reserved. It was always in favor of Maduro. And here it is.
This is the point.
Here it is that we have to call on him to go before a criminal tribunal to face the silver bracelets and blue lights, because you have deceived us, you have misbehaved in public office, and you have, of course, engaged in an activity that but has detriment Trinidad and Tobago for the worst. Go ahead.
Yes, because do you remember when they lie against is how he's planning Mandela? He died now. The ambassador from America. Remember that?
Yeah.
Short Young lie against him.
Yes. Where of course Short Young lie on him and say that he never spoke to him about Delcy Rodriguez.
Yes.
And he had to come out and say, no, you lie, Short Young. Sorry. I mean, that Chinese man who Rowley selected to be Prime Minister, for who? For who?
Okay.
You sycophants, you rank and file, you Africans along the East-West corridor and beyond, for you, after Rowley tell you that the best thing since sliced bread is the PNM, because they will always have a black man at the helm, and of course, the texture of hair and the color of skin must always be the same.
Yeah.
Don't forget the monkey and the banana, please. Don't forget that, and the Calcutta ship. Go ahead, my friend.
Well, between me and you, it's the first time I ever hear a Chinese turn Indian. Just only by Rowley and them. Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is a understatement. Yes.
Asshole thinking.
Yeah, but before I go, let me tell you this. I want to tell you, I will send something to tell you what I would like you to engage Kamala Bissessa in.
Okay, no
problem.
How
I should get to you.
No
right?
problem.
I don't want to put it on the air just so,
right.
But I would like to engage you in something to go in the manifesto. I believe this could propel she in to win this election even more, although that we believe that we will win, right? But I will send that to you.
It's inevitable, yes. No problem.
Right. It's something good.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, let me go straight, of course, to Mr. Lavantille. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Success Village, Lavantille. A pleasant good night.
In the line. Good night, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
Mr. Lennox.
Hey.
First thing, let me say well, I've noticed it, Mr. Lennox, you will make a very good prime minister, I watch piece of the thing with Kamala Saturday, and saw you on that. I didn't get to see the whole thing, but I remember seeing you on it. And based on some of the things that you just mentioned, and I look at the way that you come across like a real statesman, and I say we Lennox to really make a good prime minister. I'm not saying it's the flatter, because I looking at what I'm seeing and I see what I'm seeing there is real. You understand? You would make a very good prime minister.
Well, let me tell you something, and without flattery or blowing my own trumpet, but the CPEP, the PEP man, Philip Roger, and the entire fraternity of trade unions, and those who were in the room, you could see them staring you and piercing, in the sense of surprise. That of course.
But that's how you came across to me, Mr. Lennox.
Yeah. And of course, Kamala Prasad also asked me to say some things that she forgot, and she asked me to assist her with that as well. Independent correspondence herself. You should see the whole thing, and you would get a full appreciation.
Yeah, well, I'm going back and look at it tonight. After your program, I'm going back and look at it because I didn't really get to see the whole thing.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, that is all I call to say for the time being.
Right.
And one more thing, Mr. Lennox, we don't want no curry snail, right? And we want no Chindian to bring no pork for we. You understand? We want them out. We want them out. Them have to get out of office.
Yes, man.
You understand?
Yes, man.
And God bless. I'm going with that.
Thank you. Of course, people, even though it is the preliminary stage, even though it is the nascent stage, even though it is in the embryonic stage, let me tell you that if you have ideas that you believe that would benefit the community, because we have to encourage that. Because I do not, as I've always said, believe that Andy, Michael, and myself are the repository of all information. So that's why we rely on you, and that's why we make the program so interactive to the hilt, and as much as we can, even though, of course, what we are doing here is out of our respective pockets. But the fact of the matter is that there is a commitment and a dedication. There is a keen sense of patriotism, and we must, of course, in such circumstance, invite you to also, of course, Senate. You could do it, of course, on the Senate WhatsApp. You could do it, of course, on the ground report. You could do it by way of an email. We will put up, of course, an email address as well. So we want to tell you that, or you could do it voicemail. It doesn't matter. All of these things are important. All of us must now put our shoulders to the wheel, now that you know that we can, of course, take talk and turn it into action, strategic action. Everybody will not want to march. Everybody will not want to write letters, or they could write letters. Everybody may not want to be on the radio or any public forum, but certainly somebody may be able, of course, to give an advice as to how to, of course, treat with a particular school problem in their area, drainage problem in their area, a cesspool problem in their area. Of course, we know that there's a national cesspool problem of the entire cabinet of Rowley that he has put together, a cesspool of nasty men and women. But not that I'm talking about. I'm talking about looking for amelioration and improvement, because politics is about delivery to the people. It is not what Rowley and they have demonstrated. But of course, their talk is opposed to what they have demonstrated. They believe that they could do people evil, that they could take away what they earned, or they could dispose of the national patrimony as they wish, because they have a slim majority of only 21 seats right now, and believe that they could do that. And you remain with ache, pain, agony, stress, and of course disappointment, and a level of betrayal that is unfathomable. So I say to you, and I invite you, send in your comments as well. tell us on the program. We will take note. But let us get ourselves together, because what transpired today is a demonstration that if I can do it, you can do it too. But of course, you need to get a vehicle. The vehicle that I have chosen, of course, is to get involved in the coalition of interests, and therefore that will grow from strength to strength. But as it grows from strength to strength, the likelihood that I will become one of the players as a leader of my own party in that arrangement, it means therefore your wishes and your vision can also be realized through that mechanism. I have a plan for that kind of interaction. But let's go to the lines. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Dr. Lennox.
Good night to you, my friend.
Yes, Dr. Lennox Smith, I consider myself a respectable person, right? I try to show respect, but to tell you the truth, I say good night to Trinidad and Tobago. And good night Trinidad and Tobago, good night worldwide, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I consider myself to be a respectable person, but
okay.
Dr. Lennox Smith, I cannot respect the PNM, you know. I cannot respect the PNM. They're too wicked. You understand? There's a wicked set of people.
That is understandable.
You understand?
There's always exceptions.
And watch me.
Yeah.
And watch. They could get how much? They could get 1,000 dragon gas deal. I don't even want to see them because they're too bloody wicked. All right. Good night, my brother.
Thank you
good
very
night,
much. Thank you very much. Frank talk, always, of course, has its place. And on this occasion, he spoke frankly. And that is so delicious. Yes, so you could eat it. First, of course, it is appropriate. But of course, we have much more work to do. They are hesitant to call the elections. We know that. But it has to be called. Whether the Privy Council force him to do it or not, it has to be called. And when that day reaches, and the UNC and Kamala Prasad Bisesa are back in office, are talking with 39 seats in Trinidad. Tobago has already proven that it has created history. Well, Lavantille must now follow suit because you have the same ethnic composition. You have the same demographics in Lavantille as is the case in Tobago. Remember, Tobago has just about 59 or 57,000 persons. Well, when one looks at the constituencies of Port-au-Prince South, Lavantille East, Lavantille West, and then we talk about more people than that comprise, of course, that small geographic space. But yet still, we are hesitant to take that leap into, of course, into not the unknown, but into certainty for your own interest. Let's go to the lines. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Yes, good night, Mr. Lennox
Good night
Smith.
to you.
I will see you come on.
Yes. Yes.
I was listening to the program with Miss Bisesa Sunday,
All right.
and I heard her talking about she wrote to Rowley, and that he,
Caller, just hold on.
you
Miss
know, he.
Arima on the line. All right.
Yes, I get enough feedback.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So she said that, he said that he wrote to CARICOM, and that just now, let me load on this thing here. Right, you hear me better now?
Yeah, because like you're getting your own feedback. All right.
Yes, I realize.
All right, no problem.
So she said that, he wrote to CARICOM. So it seems as though she still have belief that he might end up writing for international observers. Right? We can't trust them. I advocating for this thing long time, and first person I advocating for this long time.
Yeah.
And I find it's too much. I'll give you the chance.
Yeah, because
I'll give you the chance to say what you have to say.
Yeah, because I was there, so therefore, I will be pushing that. And it's because of that, she then mentioned it again. And then she referred to me to ask me where are the institutions that we'll be dealing with, because the question was asked whether she alone would be, of course, making the push, and of course, the political leader of PEP, Philip Alexander, said, well, she is the leader, and therefore, of course, one expects that she will take. And then I end up saying, no, all of us are independent entities. And
listen, I telling you flat. I telling you flat.
Go ahead.
And I show you that in many ways before. I don't care about you writing. She's the opposition, appointed opposition leader of this country. And she's the one with all the power, full power. And I would say 100% power to write. Because time and time again, several people mentioned that Rowley, when he was in opposition, he took it upon himself and he wrote to the Commonwealth and maybe whoever again, but however you take it, he had power too to do that. So she made the first step in asking him. He failed. It ain't good at all. People asking for this. And I ain't want nobody tell me about anybody else. She is the one, right? She is the first one. If 10, 20 after she want to do it, okay. I ain't say no, but she is the boss, right?
All right, thank you. Well, I want to say categorically, that's a misunderstanding of how the world works in 21st century Trinidad and Tobago. It doesn't work like anybody can approach the United Nations. Anybody could approach the Organization of American States. Anybody could approach the European Human Rights Bureau. Anybody could approach. I have a correspondence right now with the Carter Foundation, and I'm saying that anybody could do it, including, of course, which she has not denied, and she in fact is engaged. But I'm saying, just to be clear, that anybody could do it. It's not exclusive to no one, whether they were elected or not elected. That is a misnomer and a misunderstanding of how the United Nations arms and, of course, issues about human rights and elections work. Let me make it clear. Anybody, every single citizen, I encourage to write it to these organizations so that the rest of the world will know, because the same impact 100,000 persons will have on the streets. The alternative to that is to find these institutions, and those of us who have the wherewithal must, of course, engage these organizations. And that's not waste time. I ain't wasting no time with, of course, what I consider to be people who think or who believe. No, this is not about believing. This is a pellucid fact. That's not waste time. And if people don't want to learn, well, sorry about that. But any one of us can, of course, approach, whether by organization or individual. Right, of course, to the State Department in the United States, right to OS, right, of course, United Nations, right. Because more of that happens, it means, therefore, the attention will be focused on Trinidad and Tobago, and Rowley will have to catch his ass not to respond to that in the way that the population, because all you go come and say, people just writing and think, all right, all you go get all your way. That is what will eventually happen when everybody, but when the opposition leader alone, he can come, of course, and say, the opposition leader write me, but I the boss, etc. No! This is a democracy. And the human rights, program of the United Nations back in 1948, after the Second World War, was designed to make certain, because Hitler took advantage of the people there, and they didn't want, of course, no institution to believe they have the exclusive right to approach the United Nations and these institutions on the basis of matters of human rights. That includes, of course, the right for free and fair elections. Let's not waste time with that. So I hope that I get the last of this talk about nobody else can write. That is a misnomer. That is a misinformation. That is somebody's concoction of feeling. Let's get it clear. All right, let's go to the line. The President, good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Yes, Dr. Lennox. I hear kicking a lot there, man.
Yes, man. Yeah.
But I call to call.
Yeah, we have to get serious here. We have to get serious because this is serious that we have a country to save. Go ahead.
Yeah, I truly lead, but I hear everybody congratulate you, giving you this congratulations and thing, right?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So I join the party. I want to congratulate you also.
All right, okay. Thank you.
You can't keep a good man down, man. A good man.
Of course, they can't keep a good man down. They can say what they want. They can say what they want. They can't keep it. Let them eat the heart out. Eat the heart out.
Yeah.
And I ain't finished yet.
So keep up the fight. I'll call you tomorrow, please, God.
All right, man. Yeah, okay. President, good night. Welcome. Welcome, President, good night.
I calling back, Lennox.
Yes, go ahead.
You're raising your voice.
No,
I ain't gonna raise mine.
That's what I normally would do.
I ain't gonna raise it. Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
You hear what it is I tell you?
Yes, you said that.
I told you.
And I said that.
I told you, let her write. And if anybody else want to write, if it's 10, 20 or all you want to write, well, write. But she's the one to write. What is you blocking for she for? She is the one appointed, she first. And let me tell all you something. Trump had time with nobody, with no negotiating concerning any business with Trinidad and Venezuela and all them things. The man had time for small talk. He ain't want no negotiating, right? I ain't talking about you writing Trump, but telling all what going on. We have to mind with business inside of here. All the set of talk. It ain't had time for that again.
I see you raising
we have to
voice.
Get straight here.
I see you raising your
right?
voice.
I decide to do that.
I see that. But
right?
When I decide, don't vex with me now.
I don't always raise my voice, but I'm raising it now.
But I didn't want to.
Right?
I never even thought I was raising my voice, but I saw what
I decide to raise it tonight now.
All right, okay.
I'm the only one talking out. I done. Where you rushing me so for?
I rushing you?
Where you rushing me for? Don't I done?
Why you using small
I
talk?
finished.
You
I finished.
Finish your
Watch me. Well, let me talk.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't rush me. You doesn't rush them rest of people from Pfizer.
Why you
right? Let me show you something. Yeah. Let me show you something. I talking here long time.
I know that.
At one time, all it tell me how I talking obscene on the chat. I never use no heavy word. I see you cussing now. Right? Don't follow me with that, you know.
Where's the cuss?
Don't follow me.
I call somebody an ass, a whole ass.
You're calling. Yes. You're hearing them words they're using. People talking about it.
I'll call the Prime Minister.
Watch me, they go ban you, you know.
They
just use them words too. They go ban you from your own.
What more you want? Rapist and a pedophile.
Watch
the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, King Christopher Rowley, is a rapist and a pedophile.
People go ban you from your own program. People go ban you. Don't follow me, you know. I get banned for cussing. And I cuss on all the radio station, I use WhatsApp and talk to the person.
I hear you.
But you see, they don't like how I just talk straight up. You know, much people just tell me they're glad how I just talk so and stand up. And there's UNC, but they're afraid to talk out.
Oh, yeah. There are people
they're afraid to talk out.
Like
yes, you I talk out to you there and tell her, let the lady write first. She's the boss.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
and then 10, 20 after that.
First or last.
Watch me.
Anybody could write anytime.
No, don't tell me anybody. She first and anybody after. I don't want no blocking.
No.
We don't want no blocking for she. Let she do she work. That she work to stand up for the people. When a government fail, it's the opposition to save the people. And
all right, okay. I think we have a difference in opinion, and let's not. Mine, of course, is nestled in facts, and anytime anybody could write. She doesn't have to write first, last. It doesn't matter if it's by happenstance that it happened to be so. Outside of that, this conversation ain't going anywhere. Let's get on with our business. Yes, indeed. Of course. So people, of course, the point I was making earlier is that, of course, you can, of course, communicate with me with respect, of course, to issues that you believe could find itself probably in some policy or program to improve, of course, the circumstances of citizens. Remember, I only have, of course, just about 7 more minutes because it is 5:53. I started late, but of course, you know, I have to rest for tomorrow morning, so I don't want to, of course, to strain my voice like Andy, because, of course, I've been accused of raising my voice beyond the decibel that I normally would. So that being as it may, yes, indeed, of course, there's something here that I want to share with you, and to take wood. Where's that boy? And take wood. Where's this one? Where's this one? Where's this one?
Because the OWTU formed a company called Patriotic. They put in a bid for the refinery, and we selected them as the preferred bidder because they were by far the best bidder. I don't want to talk about the term.
Welcome to the
We gave Petrochin a month to deal with some issues.
Hey, we're saying.
You hear me good?
Yeah, loud and clear, my friend.
Right. Before I make my contribution.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you finish, shall I call me?
Yeah, no problem.
Right. You know the Rowdy still going to talk to Trump?
Yeah. He said that they are making efforts to try to talk to the Trump administration. Well, of course, the man goes where angels fear. I keep saying that, and then of course there's something called stretching the envelope to a point where, of course, it's total disaster. So he is, of course, chancing his hands, having regard to the relationship that Trump has with him in terms of dismissing him as a leader in the Caribbean. But let him try. In an exercise in futility. Mr. Trinity, just hold on. Go ahead, Mr. Tagrigo.
Yeah. Watch me, Lennox.
Yeah.
He go up there, according to Miss Woodbrook this morning. When he badge on thing, you know. What you going to tell Trump? You're blocking my deal with Venezuela? And you better clear the way there. Don't be surprised, you know. This fella, crazy.
Yeah, because take care, he can come back too.
All of that. I would suggest him, Lennox.
Yeah.
If he going, carry Reggie's with him.
Carry what?
Reggie's.
Yeah. And carry some extra suit of clothes.
You mean the prison clothes?
Yeah, because I mean you never could tell what will happen.
Actually, then Reggie walk with your broom.
Yeah. That's right. One time.
Okay, broom.
Yeah.
You see all that stupidness with what Trump could do and all this thing? You really feel Trump had time with Rowdy, Lennox?
Of course not. He had no time with Rowdy. That's a salient point that Ms. Arima made. That he had no time with Rowdy and them, but and that I agree with.
He might have to deal with Marco Rubio.
Yes.
I should say he better walk with a set of extra clothes.
All right, my friend.
So don't forget, call me ahead on that.
Yes, I will immediately, and that is about next 4 minutes. All right, let's go straight to Mr. Trinity. President, good night. Welcome, boy. I'm a tired fella, but I'm fighting it. Go ahead.
President, good night, Lennox. Good night.
Boy,
you know the congratulations coming so much. I say like is you win some big prize, boy. You I don't know, you sit down there like you're sitting on the right hand, you know, of the opposition leader. So that's a good position you're in. The right side.
It was a wonderful experience.
I feel proud, man. I feel like you win 100 meters. But I just saying, you know.
Just a comparison.
Yeah. Yes. Well, let me just jump into the little fire a little bit now.
Yes,
you know, as it is saying.
Yes.
Well, I believe that this man is a madman. He going up and meet Trump and asking him what he want 200 gas deal with the Gagan gas. He want to start dancing the Congo line again and all them things he want to do. But listen to me, if I was Trump, I would be so happy. I say, boy, me instead of doing nothing, and look at this stupid man coming, I go and give him sanction. But I just hope if they give him sanction, give he and the cabinet the sanction.
Alone.
Right?
Alone.
Not the people. Because the people is not for that.
Yeah, Mr. Trinity, You find it strange that they had a whole energy conference, right? I'll show you how dishonest these people are. They had a whole energy conference, right? On the whole question of energy security. He criticized the people calling Trinidad and Tobago or laughing, fools laughing at us, etc. He criticized that. But he explained, of course, the possibility of selling the oil refinery. He talked about the success of not patriotic, but of course the oil company that they created, mashing up Petrotrin. But guess what? When they were telling us that a ship that could lay pipes is somewhere around offshore, how come they mention that about that? But it suddenly stalled, it suddenly disappeared, it suddenly gone. But he didn't say nothing about that. One would have expected that if it is that you're expecting oil, gas to come from Venezuela, and according to Structure, the ship is here, and he's suggesting that it is working. One would have expected that at least you would give us a report and say, well, listen, it lay 10 feet or 10 kilometers of pipe, etc. Nothing at all.
Well, I get
so
nobody see probably was.
Why you think he didn't say it?
I have no idea why he ain't gonna say that.
He ain't say it because it doesn't exist. If it was there, they pull out.
Well, the only pipeline that I know that they run, that they ain't saying, God forbid, and God accept my sympathy on these people, condolences, is the pipeline there with the divers and them, that they was gonna secretly do something with it. We don't know, because I not a diver to know what is going on either. But wherever that pipe running, maybe they wanted to tap into that and
then put their hand on something is something sinister, automatic.
Yeah.
It is axiomatic. It is a maxim. But automatic. Go ahead.
Anyhow, I know that somebody else might want to call me for your last minute of your sleep, but again, them Africans waiting for them for us to see them up. All right, Lennox.
I hear you.
All right.
With the yam.
Yeah.
With the yam.
Yes, with the yam. They have them African snail waiting for that to come up to eat up.
I hear you. People, please don't interfere with those things, because they have about 4 or 5 worms that they carry, parasites. And all of them attack the brain, and they leave people paralyzed because they get even meningitis. I read it today, so I can tell you. Please stay far from them snails. Stay far, even though of course Rowley and they might not encouraging or importing protein to of course eat those high carbohydrates content yam that he talked about, or he's talking about, or he planted. We're gonna deal with that kind of what I call ludicrous policy in due course. But let me just get, of course, to when, of course, they gave it. They said they will be giving it, of course, to the OWTU. The OWTU patriotic. They said they will give, of course, the oil refinery, but never did. And of course, the oil company that they created was called Heritage. So there's a distinction between Heritage, the oil company that they created as a result of fragmenting, or more realistically mashing up Petrotrin, and of course the company that the OWTU organized. It's called, of course, what Imsbert is talking about now, of course, patriotic.
Because the OWTU formed a company called Patriotic. They put in a bid for the refinery, and we selected them as the preferred bidder because they were by far the best bidder. And I don't want to talk out of turn. We gave Petrotrin a month to deal with some issues that the evaluation team is mainly public servants and experts, had some issues with how Patriotic was looking at how they will take over the refinery. So they asked them 10 questions. And I can report tonight that Patriotic has answered those 10 questions. And the cabinet will be making a decision on that in the very near future. If everything works according to plan, we're going to move the OWTU from a trade union to a commercial business company earning money for its members. Only PNM could do that. You think UNC could do that? You think UNC could build a new society like that? Taking a trade union from being workers to being owners of capital and generators of income? Only PNM could do. Only we. And as Dr. Rowley said, he take all kind of insult from them. All kind of talk from them, talking about the trade union. He take all kind of buff from them, all kind of insult from them. But they put in the best bid. And we don't deal with things based on grievance or who insult you. They put in the best bid, and we are going to work with the oil field workers trade union to create that new system, that new refinery.
So they put in the best bid then just before the 2020 elections. Are you making them, of course, businessmen? If the UNC could do that, he challenged. And after the elections, Patriotic or OWTU submit another bid for another rounds, and they say that they cheat. They can't qualify at all, no matter what. And of course, only recently, Rowley announced the 3 companies that at the end of the month, and one questions, what is the role of the procurement regulator in all of that? Where is the role? What is the role? You have procurement legislation. I shot Trump and them when they get to find out. Through writing by you and I. What do you think happened? Why do you think I was there today? Is right or right to the opposition leader? It's the same thing has to happen with Trump and they. Same with OS, the same with, of course, the United Nations. Same thing. Those who have the gift of writing, certainly, go ahead and do it. You don't have to wait on the opposition at all. Not at all. First and second, no. We don't have time for that. Because there is provision in the United Nations and all of these institutions for a single person to be. Let me tell you something just in case and to reinforce my point. Every year, I am invited as an individual to the NGO session of the Inter-American Development Bank. Let me just take that here. Pleasant good night. Yeah, you were saying? I did only hard work everything. People there's a call and it's after 10, so program almost finished, so I can afford to talk to my good friend who I've not seen for some time and I'm really longing to hear from. So I'm live. They are not hearing you, but of course they're hearing me talking to you. But go ahead. You want to talk after? You can talk now, I don't mind. Hard work material, no money, but you know, I'm fighting up and things are moving according to certain plans, but not in totality. Let me put it that way. Yeah. Tomorrow, oh gosh, boy, I will kneel down and pray, but I kneel down and pray. I will even hold my breath because I know when you say so is so. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, later, yes. So, which one? No, because remember you last time you handled that. If you want me to handle it, write to the people and tell them and let me, and I will go and deal with it. Yeah, right. Yeah. Let me cut the losses and get this put closure to this thing. This is taking too long. All right, so I'll call you tomorrow when you call me. All right. Yeah, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow when I call you, and we go strategize a plan. Thanks. Bye. Lovely. Love you. Bye. Right. The people of God, that was a foreign call, so I had to take it because is a good friend of mine with my namesake. You wouldn't believe we are friends. Her title is Smith too, but we are not family, but very good friends. That being as the way, people, of course, we have come to the end, of course, and don't forget that tomorrow morning, the ground report, Andy, Mike, and myself. But let's take this final call. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. Welcome to the corridor. Pleasant good night. That's not good night.
Yeah, good night, yeah. Short and sweet. Mr. Lennox, listen now. Yeah, we're going on now. That's not what I'm thinking. Yeah, Mr. Lennox, we're going on. Yeah, we're going on, eh? I'm looking at it and getting it done by inboot here. You know, it's funny enough that despite all the nice talk and all talk with the trade union, for some strange reason, the trade union end up with diabetes, all that condoms looking good. God with that.
I hear you. Yeah, you have to lampoon them. You have to make them look like fools, like asses. Some people don't like me to say it these days. I don't know why, because I don't think this is American social media platform, and ass is joke compared to, of course, the obscenity that they will use on a regular basis in their own country. But of course, we have constraints here in Trinidad. But of course, I don't know if they are going to, of course, be the law enforcement agencies will be offended by my making that statement. But I'm sure I've heard worse than that from locals on social media. But in the private home, I can't see what the hell the police want to be intrusive for. I can use obscene language in my home if I am, of course, in the public space. That is a different story. Even though, of course, my information can go to the public space, but I wouldn't be so obnoxious or disrespectful to you. That being as it may, of course, let's go back, of course, to the ship.
From the Trinidad, location 7 miles off the coast of Venezuela. SOS, Mayday. The Trinidad, a luxury liner, sailing the Caribbean Sea with an old captain named Eric Williams. Oh yes, it's smooth and free. But sadly, Eric Williams passed away. The ship hit rough water that day. Someone turned the bridge over to a captain named Chambers. My blood crawl, things start.
I just asked for the final call. A pleasant good night. Welcome. I'm talking to you off screen. Go ahead.
Good evening, and I would like to say to Lennox, congratulations on the accomplishment today with the former Prime Minister and the group of guys getting together to challenge the government for its mismanagement and its corruption and all the things that destroy the economy over the years.
Thank you very much.
So I just want to say that right now, and we'll keep in touch, and we are 110% with you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much, sir. And of course, we will be in touch as well. Bye-bye. Have a good rest of the night or day, as the case may be. Yes, indeed. Of course, people, as said already, of course, pleasant good night. Well, of course, have a wonderful rest of the night. Don't forget tomorrow morning, the ground report, Andy, Mikey, and myself. Let's, of course, treat with this this sunk PNM ship. But of course, the country itself is sinking, and we have to, of course, to resurrect or refloat it.
To fall, hold me head when I sail I fall. Captain, this ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. Oh yes, we gas tank almost empty, no electricity. We oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we stay on it and perish slow? We don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. Whoa, whoa. On the Trinidad, location 7 miles off the coast of Venezuela. SOS, Mayday. The Trinidad.
Because the order of the EU formed a company called Patriot. They put in a bit were some issues that evaluation public superintendents had some issues with how patriotic was looking at how
but sadly Eric William passed
they asked
away.
them 10
The ship hit rough water that day. Someone turned the bridge over to a captain named Chambers. Me blood crawl, things start to fall. Hold me head when I sail a fall. Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. Oh yes, we gas tank almost empty. No electricity, the oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship, or shall we stay on it and perish slow? We don't know, we don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. Whoa, whoa.